Straight ahead on CCX News, a major milestone in Plymouth that helps celebrate nature. Plus, a touchy but important subject affecting couples. We'll get an expert's perspective on the financial toll of divorce. But first, a Brooklyn Park man and a New Hope woman stranded for a week in the Boundary Waters share their rescue story. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. A couple from the Northwest Metro is glad to be back home in the Twin Cities after getting lost on a trip to the Boundary Waters canoe area.
Both had to be airlifted from the BWCA by the National Guard, and now, of course, they have quite the story to tell. We get more from Eric Nelson.
We were not unprepared. We had gear, maps, compass, water filters, and still we ended up getting lost.
And then Oyster Lake is where we ran into our problem.
New Hope's Pamela Skaya and Brooklyn Park's Chuck Kelly got off track on their recent trip to the rugged Boundary Waters canoe area.
We are grateful and thankful that they were able to get us out of there. It was a long 12 days, Eric.
What was supposed to be a one-week expedition became a two-week odyssey when they missed a portage and got lost in the remote Minnesota wild.
We are so stubborn. We kept pushing and pushing. We went farther and deeper into the swamp and the bogs.
On the video, you can see me here flashing the light.
Eventually, they were airlifted to safety.
I believe that's me going up.
When the National Guard spotted Chuck shining a flashlight.
This is the one I was seen by the plane.
In the pitch black northern Minnesota darkness.
Wanted to thank Governor Dayton for his assistance in getting the copters up there and finding us.
This strong, young National Guardsman named Brendan, and we're very thankful. And he said, hold on, we're going to get you out of here.
Skaya is a nurse, and Kelly is a former Army vet. Because of this, they kept their cool, stayed put, and never panicked.
It's like, you know, fluid, hydration, staying warm and dry.
Pamela and Chuck survived plenty of rain and 40-degree nights, and they got by on oatmeal, rice, and other basics.
Some people would get hysterical or complaining or blaming, and when I said, all you've got is a packet of cold oatmeal today, right? He was great.
Pamela and Chuck had good chemistry in the adverse circumstances, but had things gotten any worse, then who knows what might have happened.
I did threaten him with cannibalism, though, at one point on the trip.
I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
Chuck and Pamela's belongings are still in their tent up north. The National Guard plans to pick up those things this weekend.
Robbinsdale police hope a surveillance photo will help catch a thief seen trying to break into a vehicle. This photo was taken during the early morning hours of June 2nd. There's been a recent uptick in property crime in Robbinsdale. It's a reminder to lock your car doors and remove valuables from your vehicle. Anyone with information is urged to call Robbinsdale Police at 763-531-1220.
Educators at Intermediate District 287 rejoiced when Governor Dayton signed a bill last week giving them a rare funding opportunity.
$1.8 million will go to the district to provide mental health access to some students who need it most. Reporter Shannon Slatton explains.
Educators from the Intermediate District in our area call the new funding for mental health a game changer. Intermediate District 287 serves students in northwest Hennepin County who are at-risk learners and often have mental health needs.
Schools, and particularly intermediate districts, had become the front line of children's mental health without the capacity to fully provide what the students need.
Superintendent Sandy Lewandowski says their students often have acute mental health needs, and that is often a barrier to their education. So intermediate districts throughout the state joined together to show the need for more mental health services in their schools. This could mean a therapist coming to school to work closely with the teacher on strategies to help a student. The district will partner with hospitals and mental health providers to help students get the care they need.
Our hope is that we can stabilize that student in terms of their mental health needs by correct medication and correct and appropriate mental health strategies. At the same time, if they stabilize there, they're much more likely to be able to achieve academically.
The school district is now starting preliminary discussions with mental health providers to see what this partnership will look like. There currently is nothing like it in the nation. Meanwhile, the intermediate districts plan to share what they learn from the experience with their regular school districts. Back to you.
All Right, thank you. There is a noticeable change in Brooklyn Park where construction of new homes has begun. This is what it looked like last month in an area east of Winnetka Avenue near the Champlin border. And here is what it looks like today. It's a project that requires the removal of trees and the tearing down of 2 homes. It'll make way for 55 single-family homes on much smaller than typical lots. The sale prices would be in the $315,000 to $350,000 range, a price point that Brooklyn Park officials say is much needed in the city.
With the opening of a Hy-Vee grocery store next year in Robbinsdale comes a move of the city's liquor store. Robbinsdale Wine and Spirits will move into space next to Hy-Vee when the store is expected to be ready in the fall of 2018. The City Council will vote on a lease agreement at this week's council meeting. The new space is expected to generate much higher foot traffic once it opens. However, the new lease agreement would be almost twice as much, about $12,000 a month at the new Hy-Vee space, and that's compared to $6,400 a month at its current Robbins Center location.
Plymouth residents now have a new way to live an active lifestyle.
2, 3.
Current and former council members and city officials gathered Sunday afternoon to mark the grand opening of a pedestrian bridge over Vicksburg Lane. The bridge is the centerpiece of Plymouth's Northwest Greenway, which is 4 miles of paved trails. The trails go through 10 different neighborhoods and connect to other regional trails. Sunday's event was the result of efforts that have been in the works for 17 years.
It's really a great opportunity for people to get out and recreate. That's something we've really encouraged, and as mayor, I've really tried to get people to get out and enjoy our community and to be active. And so this is a great opportunity to put all that together.
Volunteers also gathered to plant 1,500 trees along the Greenway. Construction crews plan to add about 3 more miles of trails through 2020. Still ahead on CCX News, a difficult but important topic for couples, the financial toll of divorce. We'll get perspective next.
Plus, a local adapted softball team swings for a state title. That's coming up in sports.
But first, temperatures remain above average on Tuesday. A recent survey finds the loss of a spouse or partner due to divorce or death can have a significant financial impact, especially on women.
In this week's Business Matters report, a look at the steps everyone should take today to ensure financial security, no matter the situation. Nicole Middendorf already had her own Plymouth financial advising company long before she got divorced. The now single mother of 2 was even a certified divorce financial analyst, yet her own divorce still produced some costly surprises.
It was a wake-up call to how complicated the divorce process can be.
For many women, the situation can be even more dire, according to an Allianz Life study on women, money, and power. 64% of divorced women said their divorce created a financial crisis. 60% of widowed women said the loss of their spouse served as a financial wake-up call.
For the women, definitely we're in the workplace more. We're taking on the household budget, but there may be topics we stay away from.
Deb Repia, Vice President of Consumer Insights, says women need to prepare for the unexpected, and it's never too late to start learning more about their own big picture financial situation.
Things like investments or insurance, IRAs, annuities, all those types of topics that maybe they've steered away from before, and not to be afraid of them.
Finding a financial professional to work with can be a good way to start learning.
All of us wake up in the morning with the same 24 hours, and we all need to be financially responsible for ourselves.
As a wealth advisor, Nicole Middendorf has met many women and some men too, caught off guard by a sudden life change and struggling with how to move forward financially. She hopes more people start preparing for the what if so they don't have to ask the what now.
I really wish that every woman out there would take advantage of their own financial situation and be very independent and say, okay, I don't have to wait for a death or a divorce or something to make me really look at my financial situation and to say, gosh, where am I?
The Allianz Life study also found only 30% of women surveyed used a financial professional for guidance. Still ahead, the most popular place for gardeners today in Plymouth.
But first, runs are hard to come by as Champlin Park plays for a spot in their section final in baseball. John Jacobson is in next with a recap.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. 3 local prep baseball teams reached the state tournament last spring. Wyzetta, Maple Grove, and Champlin Park. The Rebels, like the Crimson and Trojans, they're in a good position to make a return trip. Rebels meeting Centennial in the Section 5 4A winners bracket. A pitcher's duel most of the way. Centennial's Kyle Nordby gets the strikeout to end the 3rd inning. Champlin Park's Max Logan just as good. He gets the K to retire the Cougars in the 5th. Bottom of the 7th, the Rebels with a winning run on 3rd. Owen Trelstead comes home on a wild pitch, but Cougars catcher Wyatt Schoperster retrieves the ball, makes the tag at home. He is out, and that forces extra innings. In the 8th inning, Rebels with a winning run in scoring position again, and this time they make it happen. Zach Loven strokes the hit to bring around Anthony Pakula with the only run of the game. Champlin Park wins 1-0 to move into the championship game. Also in the 5-4A tournament, Moundsview eliminates Totino Grace 3-1. Moundsview and Centennial are playing Monday to determine which of those teams play Champlin Park Wednesday night at CHS Field for the Section 5 4A championship. Robbinsdale Hopkins Mound West Tonka won 6 straight state championships in adapted softball from 2009 to 2014. The Robbins PI Division team was back in the title game for the first time in 3 years when they faced Anoka Hennepin for the championship. Top of the 1st inning, Robbins' Andy Hansen with a hit to right field. Corey Tesh scores. Robbins scored 2 in the 1st. The Mustangs will get a run back in the bottom of the 1st. Joey Mannion with a ball off the base of the curtain out in center field. Tyler Azell comes around to score, and it's 2-1 after an inning. The Mustangs loaded the bases in the 3rd, but Robbins pitcher Sam Rolls gets a strikeout to end the inning and preserves a 3-1 Robbinsdale lead. Robbins hold that lead throughout. Brendan Bosker Elliott comes through with a base hit up the middle in the 7th. Andy Hansen scores from second base. And the Robins lead at 10-7. They get a scoreless bottom of the 7th inning, and they win the state championship, their first in 3 years. A big accomplishment for a team not expected to win it all this season.
You know, it's just a testament to the hard work these kids put in. You know, we've had some kids that have been here long enough to experience the last run, and we really relied on their dedication, on their leadership to help teach some of the young kids what it took to get back to this position. And, you know, we weren't the most talented team here this weekend, but I think we had the pieces that fit together the best, and we're just so determined to make everything work that they managed to pull it out. We're super proud of them.
In the CI division at adapted softball, top-seeded Osseo lost in the quarterfinals. They played Chaska for 5th place. Trailing 13-11 in the bottom of the 7th inning, Osseo's Jason Robbins crushes that ball to deep left over the bleachers. That's a ground rule double, but it scores 2 runs and ties the game at 13. Next up, Joe Otto and the Orioles senior hits a hard grounder to short. The throw is too late to get Cole Brambilla. He scores the game-winning run on Otto's winning hit, and the Orioles take the consolation title 14-13. The state track and field meet is this weekend at Hamlin University. State qualifiers from Section 5AA are familiar with the venue. They competed there in the section finals. Boys 4x200 meter relay, Osseo anchor Ron Gray is running hard, but St. Michael Albertville holds on to win in 1 minute 29.86 seconds. In the girls 1600, winner Annalise Davis of St. Michael's is in. Nora Trost of Maple Grove trying to take second, but it's Morgan Dahl of Moundsview edging out Trost to earn a spot at state. In the boys 1600, Maple Grove's Alex Miley leads from start to finish. He pulls away to take the race in 4 minutes 18 seconds. Miley also won the 3200 meters. In the girls 400, it's Park Center's Fashayo Ayo Bombadelli running strong. She comes away with a win in 57.25 seconds and is headed to state for a 4th straight year. Boys 400, Jacob Namst of Centennial is the winner with a time of 49.41 seconds, just beating out Cade Lazat of Champlin Park. Both guys do make state. To the field events, Allison Garrett's of Champlin Park in the girls' triple jump. Her best jump, 36 feet, 2 1/4 inches. Garrett's also placed second in the long jump and makes state in both events. In the boys' long jump, Champlin Park's Ernest Warlow going here, his top leap, 22 feet, 8 3/4 inches. That's good for second place and a spot at state. Finally, back to the track in the boys 800. Corey Moody of Osseo holds on late. He's the winner in 1 minute 56.63 seconds. State competition in Class AA begins Friday morning. That is all for sports today. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, John, thanks. Up next, the hunt is on for a missing prize potato.
Plus, a gardener's delight in Plymouth. We'll be right back. It is that time again. The golden spud is missing somewhere in Brooklyn Park.
And we have the clues to help you find it. Here is clue number 1. I was walking along at a rather light pace till I stumbled upon a wide open space. The fields, they were groomed almost to perfection, so I wandered on through to do some reflection. I was so close to home, yet so far away. Walking and walking, I started to stray. I was suddenly lost, so I looked back and forth. I turned right around and headed due north. So there's the clue for you. There is a $300 prize for the person who finds a golden spud, and it will be somewhere on public property in Brooklyn Park. No digging or climbing needed. Dozens of gardeners and people who just want to improve their landscapes are gathering in Plymouth to swap plants and knowledge.
This is a live look at the plants and equipment up for swapping at the Plymouth Maintenance Facility on 23rd Avenue. As many as 150 people are expected in the next couple of hours, many with too many plants. They just don't want to throw them away. Some of those flowers may have just grown in the wrong places, and it's a way to boost your landscaping, of course, at no cost. That could be especially helpful for someone who just bought a new house, leaving them tight on money. It's also a great place to learn.
Between those new gardeners and the seasoned vets who know what the plant is they're giving away and what the best areas to put it. Is it a shade or is it sun loving? Does it need a lot of water or not much care? And that's that kind of information transfer that goes on amongst these gardeners. That's so exciting to see that they're just part of a bigger...
The swapping continues until 6:30 this Monday night. Just bring perennials, gardening supplies like seeds, pots, tools, and books to swap out for some new plants. What a great idea, especially if you have a new property and want to get some free plants.
Exciting in the spring. They also do one in the fall.
Oh, great.
So
good to know. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we'll see you back here again tomorrow starting at 4.